The Roman Empire is up for auction. On this date, March 28th, 193 AD, Roman Emperor Pertino was assassinated by his own bodyguards. They were upset because the emperor didn't pay them enough. Earlier in the month, after failing to whip the lazy Praetorian Guard into shape, they tried to strong the emperor into giving them more money. After a brief parley that was all successful, one of the bodyguards drew a sword and killed Pertino, cut his head off, and stuck it on a spear. The Praetorian Guard, who helped Pertino become emperor in the first place, when they helped kill his predecessor, that crazy rascal Commodus, they decided to make a whole lot of money by auctioning off the keys to the kingdom. Pertino's father-in-law, Sulpicianus, the prefect of Rome, who was inside with his dead son-in-law, was there to help parley with the guards, suddenly made an offer for the crown. Didius Julianus, a wealthy former governor, heard about the auction and raced to the imperial gates to make himself a bid. The Praetorian Guard blocked him from entering, so he shouted a counteroffer. The two old men bid for hours until the Praetorian Guard declared Julianus the winner, with the bid of paying every guard 25,000 sesterces, topping Sulpicianus' bid of 20,000 sesterces. The main reason was also the guard feared that Sulpicianus would get revenge for his son-in-law's death if he was made emperor. The Praetorian Guard, along with a local imperial army regiment, strong-armed the Roman Senate into officially making Julianus the new emperor of Rome, but the announcement was greeted with boos and jeers from the public. Julianus, after winning the crown and having to deal with the Senate, he ate a banquet dinner that was originally prepared for the dead Pertino and had an all-night drinking and gambling session. The next day, when word got around about how Julianus won the title of emperor in an auction, an angry crowd marched to the imperial palace and called out the new emperor with insults of stealer of the empire and a parricide. Julianus tried to appeal to the crowd with promises of money. The crowd began to chant, "We don't want it, we won't take it." When he didn't win the crowd over with his generous offer, he ordered his guards to kill the first row of protesters. Julianus told the crowd, "I do not assist the populace, for it has not called upon me." The angry mob marched to the Circus Maximus and demonstrated their disdain for the emperor by fasting and appealing to the soldiers to call upon their leaders to come to Rome and get rid of this usurper. 3 generals from around the empire heard the call for a savior to rid Rome of the rich old man who just won the seat when the Praetorian Guard auctioned it off. The first was Septimius Severus, who was the closest, marched his army from the north and headed straight towards Rome. The 2 others were Persinius Niger, who was stuck in Syria, and Claudius Albinus, who was taking care of business in Britain. Around this time, Julianus was shopping around for busts to bear his likeness, wanted one made of bronze so he can be immortalized. Instead of a gold one the Senate offered to make for him, he said, "Give me a bronze one so that I may last. For I observe that the gold and silver statues of the emperors that ruled before me have been destroyed, where a bronze one remains." When word got out that Severus was marching his soldiers onto Rome, Julianus had the Senate declare him a public enemy. He tried everything he could to prevent him from entering the city. He sent assassins, ambassadors bearing gifts, and when all those failed, he tried to train circus elephants to act as war machines, but they refused to carry neither armor, soldiers, or armaments. He turned the city of Rome into a fortress and tried to train the lazy guards in military drills to fight Severus's legion, but they grew tired of the emperor and planned on running or joining their new leader. Julianus gave up and fortified himself inside the imperial palace and hid. Severus marched into Rome with no resistance and personally sought out the emperor. On June 2nd, 193 AD, Severus's soldiers found the cowering Julianus hiding inside of one of the rooms in the palace and was killed on the spot on orders of Severus. Julianus's last words were, "But what evil have I done? Whom have I killed?" After his death, his name and legacy were erased by the Senate. The Praetorian Guard was fired, and the soldiers responsible for the death of Emperor Pertino were executed. The man who bought an empire reign lasted only 66 days. He was 64 years old at the time of his death.